Hey guys, it's me again. So I thought this might be easier to do by video rather than try and type this because today we are going to talk all about meal prep day. And I feel like meal prep day is one of those more intimidating things about clean eating. So I thought I would try and break it down a little bit and share some of my tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. And I want you to feel like meal prep day is not this big sort of obstacle that you have to overcome. It's something that can be fun. And the more you do it, I promise, the easier it gets. The first day or two that you try and do this, expect to spend a little bit more time. But as you learn a little bit more about it, you'll see where you can kind of cut some costs and cut some time down so that it goes a little bit more smoothly. So let's take it from the top. And in this group, we have been talking about lots of different things. I've been throwing a lot of information at you, but kind of the steps as far as leading up to meal prep day. The first step is to make your meal plan, right? And the more that you do this, the easier that gets. I suggest finding favorites, whether it's by Google, by Pinterest, by using the recipes here that I've included in the group. Whatever it takes, find your favorites, try them out, make sure that your whole family likes them, and the ones that you like the best, keep them in a binder or on note cards, whatever works the best for you. Keep them in an easy place so that every week when you're doing your meal planning, you can just pull them out and throw them together, and then you have your plan for the week. The second step is to make that grocery list. It's imperative that you make that grocery list because you know as well as I do that if you go to the grocery store unprepared without a list, and especially if you're hungry, you end up being the proud owner of a whole cart full of junk food, because I know I've done it and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about as well. So let's not do it. Let's set ourselves up for success and make that grocery list. Okay, so we've got the grocery list. We head to the grocery store, pick up everything that we need. I tend to do my grocery shopping the day before I do my meal prep, simply because when I get home, by the time you get to the grocery store and get everything and get it home, get everything unloaded, I'm kind of tired after that, to be honest with you. And to have to come home and do all of my cooking in the same day, it was just kind of too much work for me. So I like to split it up into 2 different days. That being said, if I know that I have a lot of cooking to do on that particular meal prep day, what I will do when I get home is to unload the groceries, and I will actually prep a lot of the produce and like the fruits and veggies, wash them all off. And I will even cut up some of the veggies if I know that I have a lot of things like, I don't know, say a recipe that calls for chopped onions or something like that. I'll chop them the night before. So that way on actual cooking day, it goes a lot faster. So a couple of tips on meal prep day. I get up a little bit earlier. I wear comfortable clothes and sneakers because you're going to be on your feet for a little while. I also make sure that my dishwasher is empty and all the dirty dishes are out of the sink, because I like to really clean the dishes as you go. Wash your dishes as you go, because the last thing you want to do at the end of meal prep day is to look over and see your countertops piled high of dirty dishes because you're tired, you're done with it. So you just want to be cleaning as you go so that at the end of the day you can rest and relax. Let's see. What else do I like to do? I like to have music because any meal prep day generally ends up in a couple of dance parties here at my house. It's just part of the process. So on meal prep day, I like to involve my entire family if at all possible. The more you involve your family, especially your kids, they will become invested in that healthy eating and that meal plan. And if they know that they've been involved in some of that meal prep, they're going to be more likely to eat it and enjoy it and try new foods. So what I kind of do is I have a little bin and I keep all of our supplies in it. I will keep like bowls that my daughter can use and plastic spoons, any kind of equipment that she can use. I keep an apron, and she even has a little chef hat that she wears for meal prep day. So hey, whatever, it keeps her happy. So I keep all of those things. I keep cleaning supplies in there and my cutting boards. I kind of keep everything all together. So really all I have to do is pull out our bins. My daughter likes to wash a lot of the produce, so I'll let her kind of tackle that. She likes to play in the water, whatever. I'm okay with that. I'll let her do that. She's 6, by the way. So it's all about that age appropriateness. So she'll do a lot of the washing. Then I tend to pass everything on to my son, who is 12, and he can do a lot of the cutting of produce. Some of the harder things, like maybe pineapple or watermelon, things that are a little bit tougher to cut, then I'll still do those. But otherwise, he can do a lot of, he can cut strawberries, you know, he can wash grapes and peel them, do whatever what needs to be done. He can do that. Another great thing for kids to do is if you buy nuts like walnuts, cashews, whatever, anything like that, that needs to be separated into small bags. Like I use little snack size Ziploc bags. My daughter's perfect at measuring out and cutting out, or not cutting out, but measuring out, counting out, things like that, and putting them in small containers that I throw in a little bin that I throw in my refrigerator. So that's perfect that she can do, and she's helping. So it's wonderful. It's perfect. And it makes the process go faster. So, okay. So you've got everything prepped. So what's your next step? This is where it starts to get a little bit tricky. And this is where you'll find with practice that you'll be able to cut some of your time down the more that you do this. So what I like to do first is anything that needs to be put in the crock pot. I want to get that in first because that's the longest cooking time that you have, right? It goes generally 5 to 8 hours. So I will get that started first. The next thing I do is start to preheat the oven. And as I'm preheating the oven, if I have any kind of soups or stews or something like that that has to sit on the stove for quite a long time, I will put everything in the bowl for that and get that going on the stove. If I need to boil the water or whatever, I'll get that started next. The next thing I do is start doing anything that needs to go in the oven because, again, generally takes a little bit longer cooking time to do that. So I start with the temperature that's the lowest temperature setting. So if I have something at, say, 325, I'll start with that. And then if I need something at 375, it's easy to go up. It's a lot harder to go down in temperature. So you want to start with your lowest temperature first. Again, make sure that you're cleaning pots and pans and dishes as you go, or have somebody that's designated to do that job, a spouse or a friend, whatever you have that could help out with that. That would be great too. So then you kind of get your baking stuff in next. And then as things are cooling down and finishing up, I try and package them into sort of like Tupperware containers or whatever is necessary. But I even make smaller ones, smaller portions that are great for lunches. So I can kind of grab those in the morning and go, and it makes it super easy. You don't even have to dish out your lunch the night before. It's already contained for you that meal prep day. So my first meal prep day that I did, I would say I probably took about 5 to 6 hours, a good chunk of time. Now that I've gotten it down to a science, I tend to, when I do my meal planning, I think about what I'm going to have to do on my meal prep day. And so I gear that towards making it as simple as possible for meal prep day, if that makes sense. So I kind of make sure I do one crock pot meal, maybe 1 or 2 baking meals, something on the stove. If I need to brown any meat, I'll kind of start that in the middle of things too. But you kind of get the hang of what things work well together throughout the week so that it makes your meal prep day go a little faster. So now if I do my veggies and things or fruits the night before, meal prep day generally takes maybe 2 to 3 hours for me, start to finish, cleanup included, which again is a little bit of time that you spend, granted, but when you think about that, you're preparing meals for your entire week and setting yourself up for success because you have healthy choices all week long. You don't have to hit the drive-through. You don't have to worry about coming home from the end of a long day and going, ugh, what's for dinner? And your kids are starving. And then you have to try and figure out what you're going to put on the dinner table that night. It's done. You either have to heat it up or very minimal prep, and you've got a nice, healthy, clean eating meal. And to me, spending a couple hours on a Sunday afternoon, spent time as a family and enjoy ourselves, hello, it's a no-brainer. For me, it just makes sense. And my kids have gotten to expect it. My husband has expected it, and he will help out as well. So it's just something that makes sense to me. And again, the more you practice, the easier it gets. I promise you that. And my husband will probably chime in here and coincide with that, that thinking too. So again, please don't be intimidated by that. If you have any questions, please let me know. One last tip that I thought of too. If you do something that's like a casserole dish, make 2 of them. You can bake one that day, and then the second one you can get those little throwaway tins, super cheap at the dollar store. Make one in one of those tins, and you can wrap it in saran wrap and foil and put it in your freezer. And so on another meal prep day, after you get your groceries done, you can thaw one out in the fridge the night before, and then on your meal prep day, you can cook it for that week. And so it's done. It's something super easy. So especially if produce is cheap, if you get a good sale that week, stock up on something and make 2 of the casseroles, and it saves you a little bit of time down the road as well. So good luck with everything. I hope this group is helping you get prepared for clean eating and kind of takes away a little bit of the fear of it. If you have any questions, please post them below, or you can always send me a message too. And please promise me that on your first meal prep day, or if you have not done that before, let us know how it goes, because the more that you share information, you might have some tips that I've never even thought of before, and I love to share that. So any comments, questions, concerns, I don't know, praises, whatever, just post them below and we'll all share, because then everybody benefits from that. So good luck, and I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.